What's up, everybody? Today is April 17th, 2023, and we are talking new knives. Let's get into it. Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. Today, first knife on the table, we have the new GiantMouse Knives Ace Tribeca. And this is probably my favorite of the new GiantMouse knives, firstly because of its handle that is good for a full grip in the back. You can choke up into this groove as well. It gives you a really nice purchase with some good jimping up here. But more importantly, is this one has a MagnaCut blade. And if you didn't catch our video last Friday, MagnaCut is a really amazing steel, super tough, great edge retention, and really good corrosion resistance. I think it's gonna be one of the most popular steels of the foreseeable future on knives. This is the first time we've seen it on the GiantMouse line. These go for $215. You can get them with the black G10 or the gray micarta, both with the stone-washed blade. Great knives for a solid price as well. Next up, from Jack Wolf, we have the Big Bro Jack. And this one kind of has a traditional trapper vibe to it. I picked this one that kind of has this red carbon fiber in it. Yeah, a very neutral handle, which is great in a variety of grips, and this aggressive clip point blade. Definitely feels and looks like a traditional, but the titanium handle with the inlay of carbon fiber and the, I believe this is an S90V blade. Yeah, S90V is a really cool steel. First time I've seen it on a knife like this. Very deep hollow grinds. You're gonna get great edge retention and incredible slicing performance. And one of my favorite features is, because with knives like this, they're very pretty and you wanna carry them, but you don't wanna get them all scratched up and marred up in your pocket. And Jack Wolf has you covered because you can just slide it into this leather slip, easy to carry around. These go for $299.99, and I'd pick them up fast because Jack Wolves don't tend to stick around very long. Next up, the new Blade HQ exclusive Microtech UTX 85, once again with the MagnaCut steel. And these ones have that interesting neon green yellow, I guess they're calling it flux yellow button, and a MagnaCut blade. Very exciting. It's even got special engravings. You get BHQ up here in the corner, and then MagnaCut along the side, which is a bit off the beaten path for Microtech. This is my favorite OTF. I love the UTX 85. It's just the right size. It's the same width as the Ultratech, but just a little bit smaller. Fits in the pocket nice, fits in the hand nice as well. I'm very excited about these, and they are going for $293 at Blade HQ right now. Next up, new from CJRB, we have another button lock, which is the Ekko. This one has a steel blade and a very interesting, a steel handle and a very interesting blade. I really like the sort of monochromatic color scheme it's got going. Everything nice and stone washed. And then this blade almost has a sheep's foot reverse tanto going on, but plenty of belly too. So you're gonna be able to cut against a table or against tape really easy, but still get good slice if you're gonna cut through paper or through an apple or a tomato at lunch or whatever. And for the price, it's a really sweet knife with its really nice action. This one goes for $54.99, and I love the front flipper on it. You can front flip it, you can flick it, you can thumb hole it, or you can just inertia it with the button. The Ekko is a really fidgety knife, a really affordable knife, and a great knife for its price and quality. Next up, taking it to a very premium level, we have the new Flytainum Fly One. This has been in the works for a long time with Flytanium, and it is a very premium USA-made butterfly knife. Getting a standard blade, a nice, interesting grind there that kind of gets a bit more hollow towards the belly up here for some really nice slicing, and then these milled titanium handles. This thing glides like the finest butterfly knives you've ever held. And the interesting thing is every single one of them has a custom anodized job on it. So this particular one in my hand is the only one like it in existence. And because of that, prices can vary. They start at $470. This particular one goes for $498. Riding on bushings, USA made, titanium handles, super smooth, a really great sound, and it fits with the bally boot as well. Very, very high-end butterfly knives. If you like to flip, I'd seriously check out Flytanium because they are coming out with some serious strikers this year. Next up, we have the Buck Knives Alpha Scout. And this one was announced at SHOT Show, and I was very excited about it. And this is the first time I've got it in hand. It is a really small hunting knife. It just barely fits in the hand and gets you this thumb landing right on top of this jimping. And in classic Buck fashion, they use a good steel. This one's CPM S35VN with the Boss heat treat and a very wicked sharp grind that just glides through paper or through meat or whatever. Comes with a nice double stitch leather sheath as well. And I really enjoy this Richlite handle. Richlite is sort of a paper micarta, and because of that, it gets you sort of the same tackiness that you like out of a micarta, but it's a little bit more rigid. It doesn't comply so much with your hand, which I really appreciate because when it gets wet, micarta can get a little sticky, some might even say slimy, which is great if you're trying to hold on to it and keep control with your like carving through wood. But some people don't especially find that inspiring when they're in an animal and they really need to make sure they don't slip around. And that's where I think this Richlite really excels. These ones go for $179.99. USA made, a really great fixed blade, and for its price, really solid. I would put this in an everyday carry roll. In fact, I kind of wish it had a Kydex sheath. Maybe I'd run it as a neck knife. Next up, we have the Null Knives Raiden. I will not lie to you, I had never heard of Null Knives until I was preparing for this video, but I've heard of them now and they live rent-free in my head because this knife is slick as butter. A very clean design. I love the black on the titanium with these bronze accents in the backspacer and the pivot and the thumb studs here. A milled titanium pocket clip, a buttery smooth action. So good, so good. And these ones have M390 blades as well, and they are going for $300. And I just am in love. I like how they put the little accent right here in the lock bar. And this, like, I want to call it a double finger choil, so it's like 2 fingers can slide in there. And that really just pushes the edge forward. And then this harpoon point here has your thumb lock in. And without too much pressure, you are locked in on that blade. You're not budging on it. Great for doing any of your harder or softer cuts. And my goodness, is it a good looking knife. It's like a gentleman's knife, but I could use it in like on a camp out or in a survival situation and not feel bad about it at all. Very exciting to see a new brand and a new design and a new take on knives come out. Last on the table, we have the new Spyderco Stok. It was funny, at SHOT Show, I was talking to Eric Glesser and he says he naturally wants to call it Stoke. And ever since then, I naturally want to call it Stoke too, but it's the Stok and I am vibing. It is so thin and so light. And everyday carry fixed blades have sort of been making a resurgence in popularity and I am all for it. Fixed blades offer a lot more strength and, in my opinion, diversity of uses than folders can because there's not a pivot to gum up and there's not a lock to break. Just a really great thing. This one runs an 8CR13 MOV blade with this very high satin finish, so it's not gonna bind up on anything you're cutting. It's just gonna glide through like on paper, like nothing, not even there. And I love these G10 scales. They're so thin, but they're just right to get into the hand, and then a nice Kydex sheath. And what I like is it has these 2 holes that are a little bit further apart, so that way, if you're wearing it as a neck knife, it's not gonna twist on you. It's gonna remain right where you need it until you need it. I love the Spyderco Stok series, and I'm excited they're finally landing. It comes in this sort of sheep's footy type. There's a clip point you can get as well, and they're going for $70 right now. Anyway, that's a bunch of new knives. We hope you've enjoyed. Subscribe for more knife content, and we'll see you next time.